What if a bird could teach you how to escape your own cage? Not by force, but by tuning into the right vibration. What if freedom wasn't a door you opened, but a song you remembered how to sing? This isn't just a metaphor. It's a story, maybe real, maybe myth, about a golden-chested bird named Oscar Sabiá and the hidden frequency that can set you free. Stay with us, because once you hear this, you may never look at a cage or a bird the same way again.
When the fog descended, silence settled over the village after the discovery of old Billy's departure. His notes were left stacked, serving as entertainment for the locals who chose to share them with others.
Number 011 Sabia, Oscar. I was 16 when I met him, a bird with a yellow/gold chest. His name is Oscar Sabiá. By that time I had no idea how profound his teachings were. He told me about his life and how he had set up his freedom from a cage without losing his love for an old man who, honestly, believed that that cage was a protection instead of a prison. For all those years I have been thinking about that experience. Overcoming the feeling of jealousy was what I thought would be the main lesson. However, now I realize that the main message was freedom. Better saying, the way he achieved that independence. Singing a certain music in a certain tone. Today I realize that it means tuning our frequency onto a certain matching frequency which amplifies our capability to adjust energy's vibration and multiply it. Throughout that tuning, the little bird escaped from that cage. He mastered that energy's equalization and made his body change its density, so he transposed the bars like he was a piece of air. That tuning thing is the true lesson. Finding the proper tone is the key that frees one from whatever may be our cage. And the way Oscar did is also a great lesson. He defeated hate and all kinds of negative emotions, just focusing on the true love that was alive on his inner being. That love was his route to freedom, and the alignment between his inner desire and life's desire was his guidance to the proper direction. To find the proper song, the inner music, the certain tone. To leave back all undesirable thoughts and feelings, to align our desires with life's purposes, and to accept the living joy that life wants to share with all of us. Desire, alignment, acceptance, courage, trust. Knowing, love, tune, frequency, freedom, balance, vibration, equalization. It is time to sing that song and live the life that we are supposed to live.
I have a feeling that someone is going to present a full analysis, claiming that this is some kind of metaphor or parable. Am I wrong? Well, in my humble and admittedly ignorant opinion, I prefer to believe that old Billy truly met that bird and learned from it what a truly free life is. Then, old Billy crafted a linguistic structure to make it more palatable for our limited minds.
Aye, Ivy. All I can tell you is what old Billy used to say whenever people questioned him about talking to the wind, chatting with dead friends, or drinking and dancing with Madam, the Lady Death. Art is a lie invented to tell the truth. Meanwhile, let's check what the academics have to show us. Who is going to share their analysis today?
Me, Tiffany. This text is a philosophical and spiritual reflection on freedom, transformation, and alignment with the greater forces of life. 1. Symbolism. The bird, Oscar Sabiá, represents wisdom, spiritual awakening, and inner transformation. The cage symbolizes societal conditioning, self-imposed limitations, or external constraints. The old man represents well-intended but misguided belief systems, where protection can unintentionally become imprisonment. Oscar's story suggests that true freedom is not merely physical, but vibrational and energetic, attained through a deeper understanding of oneself and the universe. 2. The power of frequency and resonance. One of the most profound ideas in the text is tuning a certain music in a certain tone. This suggests that freedom is a matter of energy alignment rather than struggle. The phrase tuning our frequency onto a certain matching frequency implies that by adjusting our inner state, we can shift reality. The bird's ability to change its density and pass through the bars echoes mystical and quantum ideas, suggesting that transformation happens not by force, but by vibrational harmony. This aligns with spiritual and scientific theories on resonance, energy fields where like attracts like, and our internal state shapes our external reality. 3. Emotional mastery and love as the path to freedom. Oscar achieves his escape not through rebellion, but through love and inner harmony. He defeated hate and all kinds of negative emotions, implying that negative energy holds us captive, while love is the force that liberates. That love was his route to freedom, suggesting that love is not just an emotion, but a guiding force that leads to higher states of being. This perspective aligns with many spiritual teachings that true power lies not in resistance, but in acceptance and alignment with higher truths. 4. The call to action, living in harmony. The text ends with an invocation of powerful concepts listed as single words: desire, alignment, acceptance, courage, trust, knowing, love, tune, frequency, freedom, balance, vibration, equalization. This list acts as a mantra or blueprint for living an awakened life. Each word represents an essential aspect of spiritual liberation, culminating in, "It is time to sing that song," which is a metaphor for fully embracing one's true self. The final message is not just theoretical but practical, urging readers to let go of limitations, align with life's natural rhythm, accept joy and love as guiding forces, trust the process of transformation. Final thoughts. This text serves as an inspiring meditation on breaking free from limiting beliefs and aligning with higher states of consciousness. It blends spiritual, philosophical, and even quantum ideas, presenting a vision where true freedom is not external, but vibrational and energetic.
Well done, Tiffany. I couldn't do better. But I have to confess that Ivy's version is taking shape inside my thoughts. Somehow I could visualize that bird as a reality, saying that we are able to communicate with them. That perspective is moving some aspects. As I said, somehow it's starting to sound possible, even when my formal education says the opposite.
Welcome to the club, Jessica.
Thanks, John. Sorry for going off topic for a moment, but as I said, Ivy's initial thoughts are really stuck with me. We're doing great work providing an academic lens to understand Old Billy's notes, which is fantastic. However, I keep coming back to, how do we actually live this wisdom? Tiffany's comment that this list acts as a mantra or blueprint for living an awakened life, with each word pointing to a key element of spiritual freedom, all leading to, "It is time to sing that song," really struck me. Absolutely. It's time to sing that song. But the big question for me is still, how do we make this wisdom practical in our day-to-day lives?
That's a powerful question, Jessica. Applying this kind of wisdom practically means living in alignment with it. Not just admiring its beautiful ideas, but making them your guiding compass. Anyone who has dedicated time to studying philosophy, psychology, sociology, or any discipline aimed at understanding human behavior will resonate with those who are the subject of such studies. Ultimately, we are all striving for improvement. You are absolutely right, though. Our analysis often consumes too much time and energy, leaving our practice neglected. If I may, I'd like to share what this text inspires in me. Not as a professional this time, but as a simple being aware of my own limitations. There's a practice someone once shared with me that I unfortunately didn't give enough attention. Here's how I might begin, and I hope it will be valuable for you whenever you feel inclined to try it. 1. Start by observing your internal state. Notice your emotional vibration throughout the day. Ask, Am I resonating with love, trust, curiosity, or with fear, control, scarcity? 2. Practice choosing love and alignment. When you're faced with a choice, try choosing what brings expansion rather than contraction. Love in this context can be gentleness, openness, patience, presence. 3. Shift focus from lack to contribution. If you're caught in thoughts of what's missing, shift to, how can I serve? What can I give? This rewires your reality from scarcity to abundance. 4. Use nature as your teacher. Like the spring of water, just be. Let your presence nourish others without expectation. Ask yourself, what am I flowing into today? Is it clear? Is it alive? 5. Create a small daily ritual. Spend 5 minutes each morning connecting to the feeling of love in your chest. Let that state guide your actions and decisions throughout the day.
Jessica, you're right on track. Just a little ahead of where we expected to be. Thanks so much, Dr. Ada Champ. Your openness to living this wisdom is truly inspiring and really explains your professional accomplishments. It takes a lot of bravery to put aside your academic standing and connect with us as simply a human being. I'm sure old Billy would be beaming if he could see this. That is life that goes on,